Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Slime Boss here, and welcome back to Pokemon X. Last time we explored Santalune Forest, and this time we're going to be exploring Santalune the City. First things first, we got to talk about the Pokemon Center, because it is not just the Pokemon Center in this game. For the order that we're playing through these Pokemon games in, this is the first game in the series to include a Pokemon Center and a Pokemart in the same place. This is not the first time Pokemon has done this. This was actually introduced in Pokemon Black and White. I also found a Pikachu in Santalune Forest. Oh yeah, Lady Ed, there's a Pokemon in the back of the center. You already said that. So we can actually go ahead and go into the Pokemon, but I don't want to do the third thing that you can do. We can now just buy Pokeballs and potions for now. And then we have this second guy, which I never understood why there's two different clerks. This is where you can get all your X-type item. I don't really care for those. Honestly, they're pretty much selling fodder for me. But let's see, what do we have? No, everything that we have is pretty much worth a damn, so... I think we're all good for now. We can actually head right over here to the right here, and introducing clothing stores. Welcome. If you like, we can check the items at the back of the shop. So this is something that was introduced new to Generation 6, is that we're actually able to customize how our character look, and this is really exciting. So again, first generation to do this, and X and Y honestly still has the best clothing in the series. I think ZA might be the only one to top it all. So you can actually take a look at what the options they are selling here in the back in the physical showcase, or you can talk to this lady here. And we can how to buy items, or check in the fitting room. Let's see, try on. Okay, if you talk to the lady, she'll just take you right to the fitting room. So here are the options that we have. So we have hats, which we have a felt hat, which is kind of like the one we're wearing. It's just brown. A cycling cap, which looks ugly as shit. A logo cap, which is pretty much like a traditional Pokemon hat. A fedora. Another felt hat, but it's blue. And again, we're wearing the pink one. We have a baby doll, Pokeball, baby doll tee, skinny jeans, high-waisted skirt, we're already wearing that, OTK socks, we're already wearing that, high tops, we're already wearing that, tote bag, we're already wearing that, and then we have special items. Oh, sorry, I didn't even go through, like... Interesting, I didn't even know that was an option. Hats, shirts, pants, dresses, socks, shoes, bags, and then accessory. So we get a little button on our thing, a gray button, purple button, yellow flower pin, that's new, and then the wide flame glasses, which we already have. I don't like any of the items that they sell at this first shop, and I know that sucks to say, but there is just nothing that I personally am interested in this first shop. And a lot of the items that they sell are actually very, very expensive, so we can't really do that quite yet. Which also gets to my next point. You can actually change clothes in the back there. So actually, are we at least able to change our appearance just a little bit? Okay, in this game, you can't actually take off... Wait, I own those things? Wait. So, I think the shop was only selling hats. Okay, I did not know this as a kid. What the fuck? Oh, it's a whole outfit. Oh, you can actually take off the socks? Wait. There is literally no difference. Take off your shoes. You're going barefoot. Okay. Sure. So, actually, we're gonna go ahead and check out our clothes that our mom packed for us. I didn't realize that I guess she did say that, huh? She did say that she packed a change of clothes for us. Interesting. Okay, well, I did not know that. Well, yeah, so we can take a look at what our character looks like. We can, you know, pan around, zoom in. Yeah, so nothing, you know, too crazy, but we'll go ahead and change into that for now. Just because I didn't even know that was a feature, so cool. Don't have to spend a dime, and we get to look cool doing it. I keep hitting the wrong button. Cool. Awesome. I genuinely thought you had to spend money on that. That's cool. Okay, I did not know that. All right. And unlike Scarlet and Violet, and I guess Pokemon Legends EA to an extent, we can actually explore these houses here. There's not really much in them still. Again, I don't know like why we I guess it adds like life to the games where you know there's characters actually living in the cities and stuff, but like there's never really typically oh, we can actually hear about all the different gym badges here. That's cool. Did not know that. Okay. There's useful information, but typically it's a lot of information that you already know. At least most of the time anyway. Or lore building. A Bunnelby from my Farfetch'd. I'm sorry, but why would you want to buy gym badges? I mean, I guess maybe like a miniature version of them. Café au lait. Chocolat chaud. Lemonade. Just say lemonade. Yeah, it's just a hat store. I just wish you can take off your hat like, in this game. I'm not really a huge fan of the hats, but it is a series staple. I think this is coffee. I think café au lait is coffee. Chocolat chaud is hot chocolate. And then lemonade. You look at this beautiful Roselia statue. I do know a bit of French, which is going to be a little cool experiencing this game now learning. Now have had learning French in high school. Oh, thank you. See, it does pay to actually talk to every NPC. Because they do actually give you stuff. I just literally combined shit and stuff in the same... I don't know how the fuck that happened. Shuff. What's this? Drinks. Oh, same shit. One of the things that's cool about this game is you can actually sit. Now, why is that cool? Well, I would like to tell you. Okay, maybe this town doesn't have it. Depending on where you go, you can actually find yourself looking in a different perspective, which is cool. You're one of those kids who got a Pokemon from Augustine Sycamore, right? That Pikachu looks like very happy. You must be a good trainer. In that case, get over to the Pokemon gym. I'm sure my sister will be glad to meet you. This character, I'm blanking on her name right now. But this was something that was so cool that they added into the Pokemon anime. I was a huge fan of the Pokemon Black and White anime. People shit all over. It's so weird. People shit all over the Black and White anime and claim that the Black and White games are so good. Shit all over the X and Y games, and the anime is so much better. This character was introduced during the Adventures in Unova arc, which a lot of people don't know that there's two different parts to that season. It's Adventures in Unova, and then Adventures in Unova and Beyond. I don't know why they had a distinction there. But this character was a primary focus once they entered the And Beyond arc. And it kind of teased everything going into... And they usually do that, like Lucario and Munchlax back in the day. But this character was heavily teasing X and Y. And eventually we got what people thought was Mew 3 in the anime. But it turned out to be Mega Evolution. So, very, very cool character there that explored the world with Ash at some point. as per usual with most Pokemon games, actually, we can... I think there's a... Is there a sign out here? Yeah. Trainer School. We're currently going through Pokemon Ruby right now as well, and, Ooh, selling fodder! And, the first, area of that game has, trainer school as well. So every first town other than hometown is, well, I guess Oldale is the first town, whatever. First town with a gym, at least. You can take a look at this whiteboard, and it shows you all the statuses. Again, very similar to how the other games are. You got poison, which you take damage slowly over time. There's also a badly poisoned status, which you take exponentially more damage over time. Paralysis makes you slower, and you can't move sometimes. Sleep, you can't move at all. Burned, but you can actually randomly cure from it. Paralysis, you can't, or like poison and paralysis, you can't naturally cure from it. Sleep, you can. Burned, again, you can't naturally cure from it. I believe there is a badly burned status as well. I don't think it actually slows you down, but it does actually, it takes damage over time. Frozen, again, very similar to sleep, but it is a permanent status condition as well, unless you, as a trainer, heal it. What this guy gave us was X items, and that was what the other guy was selling in the Pokemart. They're a one-time use in battle that'll increase your stats. I don't like using them personally, and the games are too easy anyway. Hey, stranger, isn't cruising around town on your roller skates the best thing ever? Wait, do you mean to tell me that you don't even own a pair of roller skates? How about this? If you beat me in a Pokemon battle, I'll give you a pair. I can never say no to a contest, not me, so what about it? Do you want to battle? Actually, no, we don't want to battle her. I get you, so you're going to go and train on Pokemon on Route 22 for a while first, huh? Actually, yes. So, welcome to Route 22. Hold on. Détourner way. I don't know what that means. This... I can't believe the game called me out on my bullshit. Yeah, so we actually get a chance to explore this route, which obviously the gym leader's sister was preventing us from going there. But what's really interesting is that I had a weird kinship with... I'm blanking on her. I think her name might be like Alexa or Alexi or something like that. But I had a weird kinship with her character. I was like, wow, I really like her character. Like, it's not my favorite character, but I was like, this character's kind of cool, especially when she was introduced in black and white and all that stuff. And as a kid, depending on like what generation you grew up with, like experiencing those early generation hints, especially if you don't follow like leaks and stuff, is really entertaining and really fun. That character is a photographer. I think they're both photographers, but her sister is a photographer. It's Viola. We'll get to her soon. But they're photographers, and I would eventually have a kinship with photography. I'm not per se a photographer, but I do have a weird connection with photography. So it's like weird kind of reminiscing and going back on those on this game and being like, oh wow, like a lot of what this game has to offer built me as a person and character in my life. It's kind of interesting. Oops. I don't. Okay. Sure. It's always good to not go the way that the game wants you to go, and like if it's like an old traditional like Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy or something of the like, you usually when you explore your dungeon, you always typically go the wrong way first so that you can have a more regardless, you're always going to get a net positive. Because, like, let's say you go a wrong turn and you end up fighting somebody. Well, in that case, you're training up and leveling up your party, so it's always good to do that. Or, in the off chance that you go the wrong way and you... Oh, Dunsparce. Okay. The off chance you go the wrong way, you might get, more items and more stuff like that, so... Ow. So it's always good to keep exploring when you can. That's why I typically like to explore an entire town before we actually take on the gym. Ow. This battle should not be as challenging as it is. What the fuck? Nah, fuck you, Duns. Why? Goldine. Pussy, 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 pussy. So, also another thing is that this route is essentially entirely optional. There is almost zero reason to explore this route almost at all. And it's only good for items and experience and such. The reason for that is because this, and actually I might save this for a little bit, but like this region, this map is interesting to say the least. So we'll get to that in a second. I like how they give like this fake sense of like, oh, this is the wrong... The fuck? I don't remember any of these Pokemon being here. But yeah, this fake sense of like, oh, this is a tough area. You got ace trainers and shit. And it's like just regular fucking... It's about on par with it, with the rest of where you're supposed to be at in the game. So it's like, okay. What the fuck? I don't think the camera was supposed to do that. Oh, wait, yes it was. But yeah, it's like, oh god, like, got these ace trainers. Like, usually these are rising stars, I guess they're called in this game. But these are like the end game shit. Like, oh, like, this guy's pulling out a Riolu. Shit, like, we're fucked, right? Like, nah, it's a level 9 Riolu. Like, we'll be okay. It'll be challenging, but like, we'll be fine. But it's meant to give you that false sense of like, oh, I shouldn't go this way. And I'll explain why here in a sec. Let me actually... I mean, okay, there's a preschooler over here too, okay. This route has a very weird place in my heart. A very cool place in my heart, I'm not even gonna lie. My first ever in the history of Pokemon I got to experience getting a full odds shiny Pokemon right here on this route. And it's perfect that we are fighting a Bunnelby, because it is actually a shiny Bunnelby. And it is... I still have this Pokemon to this day. And there is a reason why I ran Bunnelby during our Pokemon Legends ZA stream. Was because I wanted to pay homage to... Even though it's like one of the worst members of my team on that game. But I wanted to remember Bunnelby, my first ever shiny Pokemon, but also introduces a weird element of this game that I thought was real, which it is not, and that is this weird element that sorry, hold on, I'm thinking. I also thought for some reason that Pokemon X and Y had this thing called Phantom or Shadow Pokemon. I don't know where I got that idea from, but obviously it's a real thing in Pokemon XD or Coliseum, where like the only Pokemon that you can catch in those games are excuse me, are shadow Pokemon, which means like the only Pokemon that is, because there's no like wild grass in that game, so you can only catch Pokemon that are shadow Pokemon. So it is a real thing technically, but I thought they were in this game, and I swear to God, I have this vivid ass memory of encountering a shadow Bunnelby and being like, what the fuck, what is this? But no, it never existed. I had false memories of fighting a phantom Pokemon. Never caught it. And it was a Bunnelby as well. I don't know why. Maybe like I have this like cross memory of like of finding my shiny Bunnelby and thinking that it was finding the shiny Bunnelby and thinking that it was a shadow Pokemon, and then maybe seeing like a screenshot, a fake screenshot from X and Y that made me think that. I don't know. I don't know. It's very a weird thing. I don't know. One of the things I should probably get into about this game is the controls. Actually, yeah. So you run with B like you do in any other Pokemon game, but there's actually a little bit of freedom in the way that you move. Playing this game from the beginning, you have only access to the 8 cardinal directions. First time ever in the Pokemon series where you're able to move in 8 cardinal direction. In generations 1 through 5, you can only move up, left, down, and right. In this game, you can move up, left, down, and right, and diagonally as well. First time ever. Oh, Pikachu, don't do that. Actually, that was not a good idea. Oh, wow. Elsa, let it go. Anyway, so yeah, like up, down, left, oh, left, right, and then diagonally. You could not move diagonally previously in a Pokemon game ever before. But it makes sense because it's a 3D Pokemon game. Which means you can actually use the circle pad to move around in like a weird choppy circle here. I don't know, like it's weird. But you can also use the D-pad for a more traditional Pokemon experience, and you can also hold both buttons to go diagonally. Obviously, you can hold B to run. You can use X to go in your thing, and none of the other buttons do anything except for progress text. So you can talk to this guy right here. This gate is the entrance to Victory Road. I don't have a single goddamn badge. Where do you think you're going? Tougher challenges. So, yeah, let's go ahead and go into our bag here and go to the town map. Well, this is a little strange, but, yeah, this region is a glorified circle. Like, this area, we'll get to in a bit. I don't want to keep spoiling the game. But we go from south here. We go to Lumiose, which everyone knows Lumio. Then we go all the way around, and then we will end up back here because this is actually the Pokemon League Victory Road, and we're starting here very, very soon. So that's pretty interesting. So we will come back here at the end of the game. We'll circle back all the way back around. So pretty cool. But unfortunately, it is another one of those critiques that people have with the game, saying that, oh, it's a fucking circle. But I'm pretty sure Unova was also a circle. So, and then people complain about Kanto, how it was too, like, square. So it's like, I don't understand you guys. So, like, I just appreciate being able to have like a good Pokemon experience. And honestly, the last time that we had a really good Pokemon experience was probably Let's Go. As unfortunate as that sounds, like Sword and Shield was just exceptionally disappointing and graphically underwhelming, and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl really highlighted a lot of the issues that Gen 4 really had that people didn't want to believe. And Legends Arceus was like, yes, a cool next evolution, but so was Scarlet and Violet, and so is Legends ZA. And Legends ZA was honestly the last time that I had a genuinely fun and amazing experience with a Pokemon game. And I hadn't had that in quite some time. Like, yes, I enjoyed my time with Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, but those games just left something to be desired. Whereas Legends ZA, I was fully enjoying everything that it was throwing at me. And again, there's might be a little bit of bias with, having Kalos be my favorite region and whatnot. But still. Where I'm tired of these half steps, Game Freak. I want a top tier Pokemon experience again. You wrapped up the battle before I could use my top speed. Now, why was I talking about how the game controls? Well, wow, that's amazing. You might be even stronger than the gym leader. Alright, here you go. One spiffy pair of roller skates, just as I promised. Yeah, we actually got roller skates in this game. Listen up, I'll read you instructions on how you use your new pair of roller skates, okay? Our roller skates snap right on any shoes that you can glide all your way around. All you need to do is move the circle pad to get the wheels moving. That's all there is to it, so go on. It's your turn. Try gliding like me. So, yeah, so we have different levels of actually working here. So we can walk, right, like you could in any other Pokemon game. You can run using your running shoes. But now that we have our rollerblades, we can no longer walk using the D-pad. We can actually hop on our rollerblades. And we can go in circles. And we can even do fancy tricks, I think. If we go, we can actually do like this weird slide thing. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. I just did it. It was like a little spin move. Watch. Spin move. Spin move. Yeah, so when you turn around, you use spin move. I think there was another thing that you could do, but I'm not figuring out. So now, yeah, so now we have full 360, there we go. Full 360 degree movement, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, you go too fast sometimes and you like slip around. There's one more thing that we have to cover today, and that's something I kind of forgot. Go on the PC. I forgot that, you know, Tierno actually talked about it. We can go to the professor's PC, and he will evaluate the Pokédex progress for the Central Kalos, which basically how this game does it is that it actually splits the region into multiple regions. Splits the greater region into smaller parts, so you'll be able to have an easier time exploring, you know, capturing specific Pokemon of that region. We won't go into this here because I don't plan on 100%ing the Pokedex. This is about pretty much since Generation 5. It's starting to get a little ridiculous completing the Pokedex. However, this makes it a little bit easier because it allows you to just say, okay, I'll only collect the Pokemon that are within the Kalos Central Pokedex, which means, you know, not really focusing on national decks and whatnot. So just breaking it up into smaller pieces, making it a little bit easier. Then, of course, we have someone's PC. We always have to have a someone's PC in these games. So we can deposit Pokemon as we can usually do, withdraw, organize boxes, or organize item. If we go ahead and just go into organized boxes here, we can see that we have multiple boxes available to us and a battle box, which I think has always been in the game. But we can actually go ahead and switch box, or we can change the wallpaper. So we have scenery 1. We have different categories here. Scenery 1 is forest, city, desert, and savanna. Then we have scenery 2 with crag, volcano, snow, cave, scenery 3 with beach, seafloor, river, and sky. And then we have miscellaneous, which is Poke Center, which is pretty cool. Machine, which is pretty cool. Checks, which is like more like a, I'm blanking on the name. And simple. So that's pretty cool. And we can also go ahead and make it a lot easier for us by just changing the name of the box, which I'm not going to do. You have no reason to do that. Wait, I can just name it nothing? Oh, okay. Then we have these tabs up on the top, which we can change the mode that we're in, or you can use the buttons to do that. But for right now, we have no use for the PC at the moment. We're not going to be catching any more Mons, but I'll basically explain how you withdraw Pokemon once we actually have to withdraw Pikachu and whatnot. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And next time on Pokemon X and Y, we're going to be taking on the Santalune City Gym. See you guys then. Bye-bye.